So I wanted to talk to you all about season three and the movie itself, which is why I wanted to have a conversation about what I saw in the fan club's video. And shout out to him, by the way. And make sure you like, comment, and subscribe for more content and updates. So this one is about season three. So this year marks 30 years since the movie premiered and season three premiered back in 1995. So 1995 was a mixed bag, a year for entertainment, you know what I'm saying? But I think when it comes to Power Rangers, they try to do everything in their power to get kids to be interested in it because of the story, even though the toy sales were just going through the roof, blowing up, sounding like hot flies back in 95. But I think when it came to the movie, it was in its own universe. It didn't really need to be in continuity, you know. But I think what season three did, they pretty much adapted the movie as far as like finding the ninja powers, going to another planet, a dimension to find Ninja, who originally created the Dino Coins, basically. And so they pretty much adapted most parts from the movie and made it into something different. And yeah, I think I prefer the movie over the TV show in my opinion, but the rest of the episodes and the rest of season three were a mixed bag in my opinion because of the multi-parter. Mind you, both seasons 1 and 2 had like multi-parters, but season 3 had way too much. Way too much. Yes, there were some basic filler and focus episodes on the characters, and yes, season 3 was mature, but how they went about it when it came to the Master Vow saga, which was pretty cool. They adapted the so-called Metallic armor, even though it was like glitter, basically. So another thing that I had issues with season 3 was the lack of unmorphed fights. So I don't know if they stopped them from doing civilian fights on the show. They just have them morph and fight, which was kind of lazy to say the least. I mean, I've watched Power Rangers my whole life, so I clearly know the difference between the civilian fights and morph fights. Civilian fights are the most exciting part to see the actors show off their skills. The morph fights were a bit less interesting because, I don't know, it's something about the fight choreography with the morph fights just seemed kind of off in my opinion, especially the Ninja suits. I love the suits, but how they made it in season 3 without using any ninja weapons at all, just using their hands and feet and ninja powers. Bro, that is just lazy writing and honest, to be honest with you. I think I like the movie better because, like I said, it was in its original universe and timeline and everything. And so, by the time the Master Vow saga came along, I loved it. It was intense, it was serious, and it felt like it took the Rangers somewhere on a different level, like it never took them before. And I did not like the ending of season 3 when Lord Zed and Rita and them clean to turn back time and turn the Rangers back to kids so they can no longer be Rangers, and then they had to use that god-awful alien Rangers in our horrible speaking voices. Sound like they were just gargling water and stuff. I get it, they're from Aquatar, but why can't you just call them Ninja Rangers instead? Because it makes sense. You're adapting Kaku Ranger into season 3. Why couldn't you just use the suits that match the Sentai footage, which is called Kaku Ranger? I mean, Saban was just lazy. Everything was all Saban's fault. It wasn't the actor's fault, it was just his. You couldn't even come up with anything original, but you couldn't even call them ninjas, but you called them aliens instead, which is kind of dumb. And that's why, in my opinion, season 3 is the most weakest ones, because of them being connected to Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, even though it's made by the same production crew. You catch my drift, right? So despite the ugliness, I still say season 3 has some really interesting moments. It has some iconic moments when passing up the torch when Kimberly left the series because her actress wanted to move on from Power Rangers until she came back in Turbo, and Super Mega Force Beast Morphers crossovers even once and always in the Boom Studio Comics. So there you go. But Kat was an uninteresting Ranger when she became the new Pink Ranger until she became the Pink Zeo Ranger, and she was better in Zeo than she was in Turbo and Mighty Morphin. So I prefer Kat as Zeo Pink in Zeo. But she was a little bit better in Once and Always when she started using the pterodactyl powers. So at the end of the day, you know, even though I love the movie, it's not perfect, but it's still better than God of the 2017 movie. Don't even get me started on that. But season 3, it had its mixed bag. It had its iconic moments, but I still prefer the movie over season 3. That's just my opinion. What are your thoughts on season 3? What was your favorite moments from that season? Let me know in the comments down below. I'm out of here.